Alright, let's cover one of the most common issues when you build any of these farms, and it's that it's not spawning a lot. One of the reasons could be you just have a natural spawning point somewhere, could be underground or hidden away above ground in a pool somewhere, but for the most part, they're spawned somewhere else that takes away spawning that could be happening in the farm where you want it. So here I have this lava here to test. We're going to never see any of these lava fishes spawning in here because they're all over here right now already. So if I keep doing lava, you'll see I won't get any fishes. I get salamanders, I get afrits, but I will never see fishes here in this section. Yep, see, it's all salamanders in here, and it's only Arix is over here. So let's clear out those mobs, and now we're going to clear out this pool. Alright, now that that pool is clear of all the lava fish, we're going to see that they can now spawn back in here now. See, now we have lava fish spawning in here, and the salamanders are trying to kill them now. Okay, I have two setups to test here. We have a setup down there, it's that, and then we have a setup up here, it's that. The one that's down there is 23 blocks vertically down from where I'm standing here. It's also 24 blocks horizontal away. This up here, it's 19 blocks above where I'm standing there, and 24 blocks horizontal away there. And what we're trying to see here is that I made these two setups 42 blocks vertical from each other, and that's because you need to be more than 32 blocks to be safe, to have both of these areas count separately. So we're going to see here, when I do lava, we'll see down there we have two afrits that spawned up here, and one afrit that spawned down here. And we're just going to keep doing this until we see something happen. There's our first lava fish from the setup above. Here's another two from above. There's another fish coming from above. And we'll just try this out for a while and we'll notice something. What we should be seeing here and noticing is that when the lava fish spawn from above, I have them fall down and away from where the lava they spawn from is. And as we know, it should be the actual distance that I measured was about 40 blocks, and that is above the safe 32 area. And so it'll just keep spawning the mobs if we get them out of that area. Or if you just build your farm far enough away from any natural spawning pools. Okay, so here we're gonna check out and see why I don't use the entire possible number of spawning blocks in my designs that I recently made. This here will show that the spawn rates or spawn amounts are about the same. Here we have fire, which cinders, they can spawn into an area up to 5. So, and on average, they'll spawn about 3 at once. So if we do this a few times, we'll see I'm getting 3 out of here. There's 4 there. Got 1 there. But average is going to be about 3. And we're going to see that the group limit is 5. Kill command says 5 names. We'll do this again. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, another 5 kills. Do it again. And another 5. That's because the area can only spawn up to 5 of one type of mob. And that amount number is in its configs, which I read. We're going to see what happens if we open up all of the spawning spaces. This is all 12. And we're going to notice that it's going to spawn about the same. There's 3. There's 2. There's 4. There's 3. There's 4. There's 2. And there's 2. And there's 4. And we're going to see again that this will spawn up to 5 in this once. Killed 5 there. Killed 4 in that one. We'll do it again. Whoops, that's because I'm not doing it twice. There's another 5. Yep, another 5 there. And so we're going to test out and see if we see the same thing with acid. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we're going to see that Xaphans, they're going to spawn into an area up to 5 mobs. And at once, it's going to be on average 5. So we're going to see there's 4 from killed. There's 5 killed there. 4 killed there. 5 killed there. 3 killed there. 3 killed there. 5 killed there. 5 killed there. And 5 killed there. And if I change it to 5 free to spawn places and 3 not free to spawn places, we'll see that we'll still get about 5. Yep, 5, 5, another 5. That's 4. That's 5. That's 5. And that's 5. Hopefully this explains why my design is more simpler now and doesn't even try to use all 8 sources or all 12 fire blocks. Ooze. You need 8 valid blocks, and this is within the 64 block cube. And safely you can be about 32 blocks away, so round up to like 40 blocks away from a natural source. If you're unlucky and you just built it on the ground, maybe you could catch an unlucky underground natural ooze pool. You could just attempt to move the farm somewhere else since it's pretty cheap, or just build it up in the air. So ooze, every 30 seconds, there's a 15% chance that it's successful, and that it spawns 3 to 8 mobs per cycle. On average, we're going to see about 5 spawns out from it. The mobs that we can see out of ooze are Arixes, which have an area limit of 5. We can see a max of 5 in one area. We can get Serpexes, which we can see a max of 1 in an area. We're not even going for Serpexes in our design here. It's so small we don't care about them. And then the other thing we can get out here is Wendigos, which there's an area limit of 1. And these spawn are able to spawn independent of each other, so if we're maxed out on Arixes, we're not going to slow down our potential to get like Wendigos out here. And that's why the design of the farm looks like this here. So that should explain why I don't care to automatically remove Arixes anymore, because they don't affect the spawn rates of a Wendigo. And we're going to see, I could just keep hitting it. Wendigos are relatively rare. One finally spawned here. I can kill it, and then let the force the cycle a few times, get another Wendigo. I could force the cycle another time, get a Wendigo out of here. Force the cycle again, and another Wendigo. And they will spawn as long as I keep killing the one Wendigo that spawns in here. I don't have to care about the killing the Arixes. And as you can solve that one, it was infernal, but we can't make eye contact, so most effects won't try to affect you back. Here's something that you can do if you want to just still kill it. Arixes and you don't want them shooting at you. I have 3 tamed here. These aren't even soulbound at all. They're just sitting here on sit passive, and sit passive. When we spawn the ooze here, we will notice that these Arixes aren't going to shoot me. I could just sit in here, and I'm not going to get shot at all. We're going to see this behavior. Let me kill this Wendigo first. We're going to see this behavior switch them back to aggressive when we don't hold the treat out. And they are shooting. I need to hear if they're shooting. Yeah, they are definitely shooting. And if we switch back to our treats, they are definitely not shooting. They're happily letting us kill them. And what we can do next is, if we don't want any Arixes spawning at all, we can just fill up the entire area. So I am going to add in 2 soulbound Arixes here. So now there's 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. And we will never see a Arix spawn in this farm. And there's our Wendigo now. After a few cycles of the spawner, there's another Wendigo there. And another Wendigo there. And we never are seeing Arixes anymore, because we've maxed out the area limit of Arixes with our own friendly tamed ones. Alright, so try and explain the difference between this one and that one. This one is the most minimal design. If we kill mobs from it, sometimes the items can fly out through the sides or get caught on the edge on top of blocks, like it can get caught up on here on the walls here. And of course, since we have gaps here, they can try and shoot us from it, and some of the projectiles will definitely make it outside. And how it's different from this other side is that it's all walls here, so it's more likely that the items slip all the way back down to the bottom. And also we've covered the corners, so nothing shoots back at us. Right? It reduces the chance that it wants to shoot stuff back out at us. If we wanted to collect the items and XP, we just go inside here. We can click around and get the items. Or you could also get the items and XP by just walking along the edge and crouching with shift. You'll pick it up through the walls. Do hoppers if you want. Poison. You need 8 valid blocks, and it'll check in an area of about 64 blocks cube. And so to be safe, build at about 40 blocks of where you think a natural poison can be. Or you just take the risk, since it's pretty cheap. And if you don't see anything spawning in it, just move it. Or attempt to move it. And how my setup works, I have 1 source plus 7 downflow. And about every 30 seconds, there's a 50% chance that it'll spawn 3 to 8 mobs per cycle. And on average, we're going to get about 5 spawns. Okay, the types of mobs that we can get out of here are ghouls, which can spawn into an area limit of 5. These guys can be infernal, and that's why I recommend building it out of stone tier material, so ghastly ones, if they accidentally shoot, they don't blow up the entire setup. Another thing they can spawn are Gnex. They can spawn into an area limit up to 2. And if they spawn as a baby, they can spawn really, really small. And so only with this setup of walls and stairs, I think it's completely safe from even the baby Gnex. If you use the variation, I think they might be able to escape. It takes a lot of spawn attempts to try and get a baby small Gnek, so it's hard to test that. And the third mob that can come out of here is the Poison Elemental. It can spawn up to an area limit of 3. Alright, there's nothing too special about poison. We're just gonna check out and see that about 5 mobs spawn on average. There's 6 there. There's 3 there. There's 3 there. 6 there, I mean. 3 there. And 7 there. 6 there. Big number there. 5 there. 5 there. As you can see, poison in this setup has a lot of spawn potential. And it works pretty simply. Attack through the gaps. Kill them through the gaps. They can't really attack back at us. We could go up to the wall here, collect the EXP. We could manually try and click out the drops, or you just go out to every wall and click out. And hit shift to collect the stuff through the wall. As you can see, if the gaps are not closed off, like on these other sides, it is less safe. If you are unlucky and walk up to when there's spawning happening, and it just attacks you. But for the most part, you can safely attack everything without them attacking back. Acid. We need 8 valid blocks, checks in the 64 cube, so it'll be safe. 40 from where you think a natural can be, or you just take the risk. How I use it in my setup: 1 source and 7 flowing. Every 30 seconds, there is a 50% chance that it'll try to spawn 3 to 8 per cycle. On average, we're going to see 5 spawn. And of course, we know from acid, the only things spawning in it are Xaphans, and those have an area limit of 5. And that's where our limit of 5 spawns on average is getting hard locked at, and is why our design is 5 spawning platforms for it. And pretty simple. In this state, it's not going to spawn anything, but once we let the acid flow, test acid, we're going to use the kill command and see that we're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Xaphans there. Do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So pretty often in this setup, we're getting the maximum amount of 5 Xaphans in one area. If we want to safely collect drops without them burning, we turn off the acid flow and we're free to attack the Xaphans safely as you just go around the area and attack them. Let's get another wave of Xaphans in here. We can see we got a small wave here. If you want to be completely safe, you can be a bit further away from the farm when you attack the Xaphans, so that their eye line doesn't match yours and won't attack you back, and you're free to attack them. As should have been explained in the video, if you check the details of it, this bridge here is optional. This is just here to provide a hard hitbox for this last Xaphan spawning spot, so that it's less troublesome to go and catch it if it spawns in the air, or flies up into the air. As you can see, the height, it can be tricky, or if it flies all the way to the top, it's hard to hit it, and so we would have to give ourselves a little bit more risk and pop into one of these to try and kill it. Fire. It requires 12 valid blocks, which is our fire, and same distance stuff again, 64 block cube, and it's really hard to have natural fire growing off somewhere, so it's pretty safe to build it anywhere. As your infinite fire blocks, you can use netherrack or quark charcoal blocks. So every 30 seconds, there's a 25% chance that it'll spawn 2 to 5 mobs per cycle. On average, we're going to see about 3 spawns. Cinders, they can spawn up to the area limit of 5. And that's what we saw earlier. Alright, so if you ever were having trouble putting in the carts, you can aim between the 2 blocks, look for the line, you'll be able to see the outline of the block, then you can just place it down. Let me do it without hitboxes. So hitbox is hidden now, and we don't really care about the hitboxes seeing it. We just want to place it exactly between the 2 blocks here. That way, when we do turn on our debug hitboxes, we can see the plows cover the entire area of it and give a good amount of push force. And now, to explain how this works now, we're going to see that the carts are able to push the cinders out of the fire, and so that they camp more on top of this block in front. That way, when they die, the carts push their model back forward. That's where the XP drops. The items, they could still sometimes drop into the fire. That's a shame, but we're barely using anything in this setup here. It's hilariously cheap. We're able to easily kill the cinders. They drop their XP relatively safely. We're not accidentally knocking out our fire. However, if you get a really small cinder, like this guy here, and if he decides to float up in the air, sometimes at many angles we're unable to hit it from this block. And this is why we have this slab here. So we can step down, and now we can see more of the cinders and are able to hit them down in case they're floating up into the air. Of course, that gives us the risk of accidentally knocking out a fire, but it's a pretty easy way to deal with it. Lava. This one's the fun one. We requires 8 valid blocks, and they must be sources. And same spawning distance, especially since we used lava as the example at the beginning of the video. Every 30 seconds, there's a 25% chance that lava will try to spawn 2 to 5 mobs per cycle. And the average that will actually spawn varies depending on the design you use. For the design that I showed off in the video, we saw that there were Afrits, and they can spawn up to a max area limit of 2. We have the lava fish, which spawn up into an area of 5 at a time. We also have salamanders. They also spawn up to an area limit of 5. And optional, what we can spawn are gorgers, which spawn up into an area limit of 2. And lobbers. Lobbers spawn into a max area limit of 1. They can, however, be infernal, and you can rarely get the mini boss Umbral Lobber. The one that we 100% avoid is the Ignibus. That's the Lycanites fire dragon thing. This guy spawns into a max area limit of 1. Alright, and if you built lava underground under Y50, that enters the area of where the underground lava spawner can become active. This spawner requires 16 valid source blocks to start spawning mobs, and this is when you get to the annoying things. Vulcans can spawn up to a max area limit of 1, and these lava turtles can spawn up to a max area limit of 2. You can see why they're annoying. This lava turtle turns into a ton of flowing lava when it dies, and the Vulcan here has a damage aura. You can see it just set me on fire. And so compared to our other designs, we have to add more blocks here, a bigger roof so it's stuck inside, and more walls. So as you can see, I'm not constantly being set on fire by it. It is having trouble constantly setting me on fire, but if I fly up into the air and it sees me, now I'm on fire. If you just want Arix's, I have 8 lava, a lot of lava here sitting on top of walls, and we're going to provide only 2 valid spawning spaces for 8 possible Afrits. When the game chooses to spawn it, it'll spawn 1 to 2 Afrits. There's up to 2 in our area limit. That's kind of how our Afrits kind of go. If we want to spawn more than just Afrits, we're going to, of course, build this. This is what became that over there, what was built in the quick video. This can start spawning things including the lava fish and the salamander. So there's salamander, there's lava fish, there's a Afrit, and as we can see with this design, salamanders that can attack us are trapped in here. But that also means the lava fish is trapped inside. If we wanted to take it out, just knock down a few things at the sides, take out the source, then just push the lava fish where you want it. And speaking of lava fish, if you wanted whatever that was in the air, this is just a simple version. It's just the iron bars here preventing all but baby salamanders from spawning, and we get Afrit and lava fish out of this thing. So when a lava fish spawns from inside of this thing, it'll touch this string here that's attached to observer, and it'll power the dispenser to turn it on and off. And of course the lava fish drops. Let's get one more, and that is our example here for lava fish. And of course the step up, this is if you wanted to include the lobber. The lobber could be infernal, and it could spawn as an umbral lobber, but all you need to do is just build this wall here, 3 high, and give it a roof, and then most lobbers won't be able to attack back. And let me switch it out and show it that we're now going to get able to get lobbers in here. Salamander, and we have a small lobber in here. One of the things to note is that if for some reason infighting goes on, it's possible that the lava here gets replaced by the lava here. Can I get him to replace it? Do I need to stand here? Shoot me. But yeah, sometimes... Oh yeah, it can't replace the lava if it's flowing down. So since it's flowing, downwards flowing, it cannot replace it. So we're just going to put that there to make this now just the one floating here, and if the lava shoots, now we've lost our source here. And now I'm going to explain what was here before. What was here before was simply just the ability to let this lava source flow down. If it's flowing down here, that means this source is unable to be replaced by most things as far as I know. However, if we can see in this test example, I just didn't care. This is an alternate to that over there, where we have one lobber spawning area. But however, we just hope that there is going to be no infighting to accidentally replace that lava source there. I was taught this by someone, and I believe their name was pronounced Anon, A-A-N-O-N. I'll try to link any profiles that they have, but I was taught that Gorgers are actually pretty good to try and kill, spawn and kill. We're in this area here. This is a valid area that Gorgers can spawn. There's Salamander, there's Gorger here now. So this is a very useful thing to kill. We have this wall here if we were in survival, game mode S, where it's not going to attack back at us, but we can attack from a few different angles. If it's available, we can attack under the block here, or if we want to, we can be over here and just attack her from the side there and it's dead. And yeah. Let's try and get another one. There's another Gorger. And don't do that to me. And we're going to attack to the bottom here. Gorger dead. And of course this other walls here helps prevent the salamanders from walking out and getting us. However, we have a full wall solution over here. This is an entire walled off area here, 3 high, with a couple walls left still to help keep mobs in place. And in here, let me get rid of these first. This one here, and this one there. And let me kill everyone. Over here now, I have stacked here 2 potential spawning here. So one bucket goes up here, another one goes down there. Punch it out because Gorgers can infight. They try to target the lava fish, accidentally hit a salamander, then they fight each other. And in that case, you need the downward flowing trick to stop them from being able to replace it. And we're going to see how we can kill our things in here. You can see there's 2 valid spawning in here. We can have 2 mobs spawn at once. And we can just kind of poke everything through the holes I have set up here. You can poke things through the holes, or you can lead them to the one doorway here. Let's try and get our Gorger friend. Oh, there's our Gorger friend, and he is infighting with everyone, accidentally threw the lava out the doorway. And the Salamanders just killed the Gorger. Gorger, of course, if it's open out like here, you can shoot it with a bow and arrow. If it's out through here with a ton of walls, you could poke it through the holes here. Try and kite it in the doorway. Oh. And yeah, you kill everything. You can choose to toggle off the lava with the trick I showed with the mini video here, where we decrease ourselves to 7 valid spawning sources. And so it can no longer spawn mobs, and so we're safe to go around, collect the items, collect the XP if we did that. What do I think the best overall lava setup is? For simplicity, use the one in the video. This is 5 possible spawning, and 3 you can use anywhere you want. What I think is a very nice one that you could scale up to eventually is 2 lava sources in the big room. So 1 source there, and then 1 source above here. Place the source there, break it, another source there. Make sure to break the block down there so it's downward flowing. That's 2 lava there. And in here, we have our modified setup, so we can have our 1 lava spawn. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 8 now total. 2 that can spawn the 2 max gorgers. 1 that can spawn the 1 lobber. And then the rest, all of them are able to spawn afrits, salamanders, and lava fish. So we do lava here. Let's increase the kill range. That killed 2. That killed 4. That killed 4. That killed 2. That killed 3. That killed 2. That killed 2. That killed 2. That killed 3. This is a double 1 stacked with the natural spawn. This killed 3. And that killed 2. And this killed 2, and that killed 4. Some coal dropped there somehow. Salamander there. As you can see, even with the ability to spawn lobbers and gorgers, it's still pretty rare to see them. We'll try and force the spawn of them a few times, see if we can eventually see it. We got our gorgers in here, and now they're infighting with the salamander. Can we get our lobber friend? There's our lobber friend. It took a lot of cycles. And let's compare it to what we actually built in the video. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to see 1, 2. These is only 7, and it'll never spawn. Oh wait, it's spawning mobs because of all this other lava I have all around here, and I don't want to remove that. So we're just going to check out the relative amounts that this setup will actually spawn. So come over here, and let's see. 2, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 4, 2, and 2. And that should give you an idea of what can spawn per cycle. And hopefully all this information helps you somehow. And of course, world download will be in the description. You can check out these farms when you spawn here. Just go all the way until you read a command block with a sign that says 1 bucket Lycanites, no carts, and others. click it, and just send back here. And if you want to check out my other stuff, just go back to the spawning area. You could also access it through the warp stone here. I have the main teleport here, and then maybe you'll be able to see these other waste stones I have, but I don't know if it will transfer in the world download or not. So that's why I just made the command blocks here.